students from the Royal College of Arts in London that have been working together with their tutor, Tony Dunn, and with a bunch of scientists around Great Britain on the possibilities of nanotechnology for design in the future. New sensing elements on the body. You can grow hairs on your nails and therefore grab some of the particles from another person. They seem very, very obsessed with finding out more about the ideal mate. So they're working on enhancing everything, touch, smell, everything they can in order to find the perfect mate. Very interesting. And this instead is a typeface designer from Israel who has designed, he calls them typosperma. He's thinking, of course it's all a concept, of injecting typefaces into sperms and into spermatozoa, I don't know how to say it in English, spermatozoa, in order to make them become, to almost have a song or a whole poem written with every ejaculation. I tell you, designers are quite fantastic, you know. So, tissue design. Here, in this case, too, you have a mixture of scientists and designers. This here is part of the same lab at the Royal College of Arts. The RCA is really quite an amazing school from that viewpoint. One of the assignments for a year was to work with in vitro meat. You know that already you can grow meat in vitro. In Australia, they did it, this research company called Symbiotica. But the problem is that it's a really ugly patty. And so the assignments to the students was, how should the steak of tomorrow be when you don't have to kill cows and it can have any shape? What should it be like? So this particular student, James King, went around the beautiful English countryside, picked the best cow that he could see, and then put her in the MRI machine. And then took the scans of the best organs and made the meat. Of course, this is done with the Japanese resin food makers, but you know, in the future it could be made better. But that reproduces the best MRI scan of the best cow he could find. And instead, this element here is much more banal, something that you know can be done already, is to grow bone tissue so that you can make a wedding ring out of the bone tissue of your loved one, literally. So this is indeed made of human bone tissue. And this is Symbiotica, and you know, they've been working, they were the first ones to do this in vitro meat, and now they've also done an in vitro coat, a leather coat. It's minuscule, but it's a real coat. It's shaped like one. So we'll be able to really not have any excuse to be wearing everything leather in the future. One of the most important topics of the show, you know, as anything in our life today, we can look at it from many, many different viewpoints and at different levels. But one of the most interesting and most important concepts is the idea of scale. We change scale very often. We change resolution of screens, and we're not really fazed by it. We do it very comfortably. So you go, even in the exhibition, from the idea of nanotechnology and the nanoscale to instead the manipulation of really great amounts of data, the mapping and tagging of the universe and of the world. And in this particular case, a section will be devoted to information design. And you see here the work of Ben Fry. This is human versus chimps, the few chromosomes that distinguish us from chimps. It was a beautiful visualization that he did for Seed Magazine. And here's the whole code of Pac-Man visualized with all the go to, go back to, also made into a beautiful choreography. And then also graphs by scientists, this beautiful digraph of protein homology. Scientists are starting to also consider aesthetics. We were discussing with Keith Schrupp this morning the fact that many scientists tend not to use anything beautiful in their presentations, otherwise they're afraid of being considered dumb blondes. So they pick the worst background from any kind of PowerPoint presentation, the worst typeface. It's only recently that this kind of marriage between design and science is producing some of the first pretty, if we can say so, scientific presentations. Another aspect of contemporary design that I think is mind-opening, promising, and will really be the future of design, which is the idea of collective design. You know, the whole EXO laptop, from one laptop per child, is based on the idea of collaboration and mesh and networking. So the more the merrier. The more computers, the stronger the signal. And children work on the interface so that it's all based on doing things together, tasks together. So the idea of collective design is something that will become even bigger in the future, and this is chosen as an example. Related to the idea of collective design and to the new balance between the individual and the collectivity, is the idea of existence maximum. That's a term that I coined a few years ago while I was thinking of how pressed we are together, and at the same time how these small objects like the Walkman first and then the iPod create bubbles of space around us that enable us to have a metaphysical